Arrangement after collection. Even after seed collection, there are additional tasks, such as arranging collected seeds and confirmation samples and organizing documents. If you don't arrangement, the collected material's value or utility will decrease, so the follow-up tasks are as important as seed collection. Before the collected seeds are stored in the indoor fridge, you need to take care of them carefully so they don't lose their vitality. Before the collected seeds are placed in a storage facility, their post-collection treatment is important so they don't lose their vitality. In case the collected seeds can't be transported to an indoor drying room, you need to treat them immediately on-site. Post-collection treatment methods will differ depending on maturity, moisture content, and atmospheric moisture. Store matured seeds in a well-ventilated and cool area when you dry them until the field work is finished. You should wrap seeds up at night to minimize seeds' moisture absorption due to an increase in the atmospheric humidity level. Seeds which contain moisture because they've reached their natural dispersal period should be dried as quickly as possible. Lay seeds down in a partially shaded area and place a thin layer of newspaper on top to dry them. In case of high humidity, lay the seeds down in a thin layer in an air-conditioned room and use a desiccant like silica gel. If it is too humid to use a desiccant, it's better to let them naturally dry for 2 to 3 days in advance. Then put them into a sealed box with a desiccant. You'll need to reduce the moisture to below 30% RH, relative humidity, which is a safe level for seeds. The amount of silica gel and seeds are suggested to be mixed in 1:1 ratio and a 1:3 ratio when using charcoal with seeds. The desiccant seeds need to be replaced frequently. If these measures are difficult to follow, move the seeds to the best available place to dry them quickly under safe humidity conditions. Unripe seeds contain a lot of moisture, so careful treatment is required. Additional work to ripen them is needed until they reach their natural dispersal state. When you collect unripe seeds, collect them with long branches or stems, and the fruit and leaves attached to provide them with nutrition during the ripening period. Immature seeds are collected and stored in a standby state for 1 to 2 weeks until they ripen and dry slowly, reaching their natural dispersing state. If seeds reach natural dispersing state after ripening and drying for 1 to 2 weeks in atmospheric conditions, they are judged as ripe seeds and dried using the mature seeds treatment method. Since seeds start to degrade when they remain in fruit flesh, it's important to remove the pulpy flesh quickly after collection. It's better to remove fruit flesh immediately at the collection site. If it is difficult to treat the seeds immediately, store them in a well-ventilated container to prevent fungus and decomposition. After the pulp is removed, dry the seeds slowly for 1 or 2 weeks in atmospheric conditions prior to moving them to a 15 degrees Celsius, 15% RH environment. Storing seeds in vehicles is not suggested because the temperature of the vehicle can rise rapidly during the daytime. If seeds are damaged physically, the chance of long-term preservation is reduced, so be careful not to damage them. Never freeze seeds until they are dried. When the seeds are moved indoors, implement maturing and dehydration as soon as possible. Leave unripe seeds in the ripening room without removing the fruit. They need to be stored and ripened under atmospheric conditions for 1 or 2 weeks. Select seeds that are still inside the fruit as soon as possible on site. Store moist seeds in the drying room, spread out on newspaper so they don't overlap. Be careful not to lose the tracking table during the seed's drying process, and precisely attach the tracking table on the drying container. The Korean National Baekdudaegan Arboretum is furnished with ripening room that maintains a 30 degrees Celsius temperature and 60% relative humidity, and a drying room that maintains a 15 degrees Celsius temperature and 15% relative humidity. When you record your field items, you must fill in the unrecorded information first. Quickly record information that you did not write down on site, such as name of location, natural environment, and GPS after return. If you are managing seeds with an independent introduction number, provide the manager of plant's history with the information and receive an introduction number. If the plants still do not need to be identified, give the plant an introduction number first. An identification can be completed later. The assigned introduction number is recorded with a collection number in the field notes. If the collected information is shared among many people, it's important to manage the materials in a unified way. If you upgrade multiple materials after you collect them, you'll see higher efficiency in searching and utilizing them than before. Establishing a system for integrated information management will require huge effort and high costs to cover dedicated personnel to manage such a system. Collection information is better to be introduced after sorting according to collection number and not alphabetically or by taxonomic group. Otherwise, confusion may arise within the same group. If you already have an information management system, immediately add the information in the system. If there is no information management system, you can manage information using MS Office. In addition, safely store the image and sound data collected on site and arrange it systematically so everyone can find it quickly. When the documentation of the collection is finished, share the collection results with other department members, and coordinate opinions on the next plant species and areas to collect with other relevant departments. If you missed the seed collection period during this field trip, predict and record the future collection period along with fruiting period based on written sources and previously collected materials. Communicate in advance with interested persons or institutions in the next collection area. Check the plant collection policy of the institution again and establish a plan that complies with the collection policy. We have completed arrangements and tasks after seed collection.